Can you really lose 50 pounds of fat in only 70 days? This viral video with over 130,000 views promises that you can. And there are plenty of excited women in the comments ready to give this a try. But here's what you need to understand before getting started. Following advice like this doesn't just result in quick weight loss, because this advice could completely destroy your health, just like it destroyed mine. As someone who was featured in People magazine for losing 100 pounds, had a podcast, and wrote books about my dramatic weight loss, I was the poster child for extreme dieting. I was the success story that every woman wanted, at least until this happened. Because just when I thought that I had everything figured out, I quickly regained 50 pounds and my health was in the toilet, as was my bank account, since I spent tens of thousands of dollars on programs and medical bills trying to figure out why I barely had enough energy to move off the couch. If you're a woman over 40 who is still tempted by these lose weight fast promises, keep watching. This video is going to save you years of feeling like garbage, plus thousands of dollars fixing the health problems that these extreme diets cause. Because I'm about to show you exactly why losing 50 pounds in 70 days isn't just unrealistic, but it is flat out dangerous. Plus, I'll show you what you should do instead, because my approach is actually a long-term fix that actually improves your health. But don't get me wrong, because I absolutely get the appeal. I spent decades chasing quick fixes, eating extremely low carb while fasting up to 24 hours at a time. And yes, I did lose 100 pounds with extreme methods similar to this video. But what happened next, what could happen to you if you commit to these same extremes, is exactly why this approach is so dangerous. Let's start with the obvious problem, the math. In order to lose 50 pounds in 70 days, you need to lose 5 pounds every single week, which requires a 17,500 calorie deficit every 7 days, meaning you'd have to eat 2,500 calories less than maintenance every single day. Let me show you why this will never work, and it's not because you just lack willpower. This woman says that she started at 197 pounds. Let's assume she's 5'5", 35 years old, and moderately active chasing her kid. That means she's burning around 2,389 calories each day. So to create that 2,500 calorie deficit, she'll have to eat negative 111 calories every day. Let that sink in. Negative calories, not just some days, but every day. As in, never eat anything and still burn an extra 111 calories on top of her normal activity for 70 days straight. And if you find yourself thinking, well, maybe if I just drank protein shakes and just stop, because I have been there. I have tried to out-negotiate the math too. But that negotiation only makes you feel really bad for the days that you can actually white-knuckle your way through it right before you're back to all of the bad habits that got you here in the first place. But here's where things get even worse. Her actual plan isn't quite that extreme. In the video, she recommends alternate day fasting where you eat at maintenance every other day, then fast on only 250 liquid calories on the other days. She also says to burn only 500 calories exercising on feast days, but to burn up to 1,000 calories on your fasting days, which might be the dumbest part of this entire video, because that is a great way to land yourself in the hospital right after you fall off that incline treadmill and crack your head open. Which is exactly what could happen when you try to burn 1,000 calories while running on 250 liquid calories. Mostly because a strategy like that will push you into a hypoglycemic state. And even though that is the dumbest part, it's actually not the worst part. When you attempt to lose weight this quickly, studies show that 25 to 50% of what you're losing is lean muscle. So if you lose 50 pounds in 70 days, you really only lose 25 to 30 pounds of actual fat tops. The rest, muscle, water, and glycogen. But here's where this goes really wrong. Muscle is metabolically active tissue, and every pound of muscle you lose slows your metabolism down. So if you lost 50 pounds, but 20 of that was muscle, now you have to eat even less than when you started, and that's just if you want to maintain your weight. which is why extreme dieters always end up regaining every pound and usually more. It's not some kind of character flaw or a lack of willpower, it's just biology. But muscle loss is really just the beginning of your problem with these extreme weight loss plans. Because all of this lose weight as fast as you can nonsense will end up completely destroying your hormones, especially if you're a woman who is anywhere near perimenopause or menopause. And here's the part that is really frustrating. After years of following extreme fasting combined with a ketogenic diet for weight loss and improved health, my body began falling apart. I was so exhausted that I could barely move off the couch. Migraines hit like clockwork, and I spent thousands of dollars on tests trying to figure out why I was falling apart at 39. Even though I was given a myriad of diagnoses, everything from mold illness to botched root canals to hormone tests that showed that I was only days away from menopause at age 39, the only thing that really helped me get back to normal was giving up extreme diets for good. It turns out the protocols that all of these internet doctors swore would fix my hormones, like eating extremely low carb while fasting as much as possible, those are the things that completely dysregulated my stress hormones. And here's what makes me really mad about this viral video. I can see my 20-year-old self in all of these excited comments. I was once that young woman who thought I finally found the secret. Yes, I initially lost 100 pounds with extreme methods. But within a few years, I regained 50 and my health was a mess. The diets that gave me my success story eventually destroyed my cortisol patterns, tanked my thyroid function, and left my body in a constant state of fight or flight. These days, I can't even fast for more than 13 or 14 hours at a time without completely triggering a migraine. And my body is so damaged from years of eating low carb that I get really sick if I even try to eat below 100 carbs on any given day. Which is why I eventually settled on this slow and steady fat loss approach, because my body instant rebels at even mild stressors. Knowing what I know now, it makes me so sad that so many women still chase these dangerous extremes, and that so many women who probably don't know better still promote it. So what actually works? After destroying my health and spending thousands of dollars fixing it, here's what I learned. You need to start with a moderate calorie deficit of 300 to 500 per day. That's it. Not 2,500 calories, not alternating between feasting and fasting days. All you need is a gentle, sustainable deficit that allows your body to lose fat while preserving muscle and hormonal health. And even though this approach might only help you lose 1 to 2 pounds each week instead of 5, it's actual fat you're losing, not muscle. And you get to feel good while not risking your health in the process. Once you have your moderate deficit in place, add in strength training 2 to 3 days each week. Even though you might try to negotiate your way out of this one, it is a non-negotiable if you don't want to regain every pound. Next, you gotta work up to eating enough protein, which for most women means eating between 100 to 150 grams each day. This gives your body the building blocks it needs to maintain muscle while in a calorie deficit. And finally, you gotta have patience. Losing fat is a really slow process. Like, if you have 50 pounds to lose, you should plan on spending at least the next year working towards that goal. And even if you don't lose all 50 pounds in 1 year, just keep going. If you even think about doing something extreme just to speed things up, remind yourself that the faster you lose weight, the faster you'll gain back every pound. So going slow is absolutely worth it. I know it's not sexy. I know this video won't get 130,000 views, but slow and steady is the only thing that actually works long term. I made this video because I am done with watching women destroy their health chasing quick weight loss promises that never last past a few months. I've been there too many times to count, and I paid the price with my health. That woman in the viral video talks about this being her last resort before injectables. But what she doesn't realize is she is setting herself up for the exact cycle that kept me trapped for decades. Once she regains the weight, since 99% of those who lose weight without establishing the right habits do, If she makes the decision to rely only on injectables instead of actually learning the slow and steady habits that work long term, that will land her in the same exact spot or maybe even worse. Now that you've made it this far, you have a choice. You can chase the next quick fix, lose weight really fast, and then end up right back where you started, but with a slower metabolism and damaged hormones. Or you can choose the boring, slow, and steady path that actually works. The path that lets you lose fat while keeping your health intact. I know which one gets more views on social media, but I also know which one actually works. If you're tempted by that viral video or any others like it, I want you to remember my story. Remember that woman who was featured in People magazine, only to end up sicker and more confused than ever just a few years later. I promise, your health is worth way more than fitting into those jeans by next summer. Your energy is worth more than impressing people at your high school reunion. If you're done with the yo-yo cycle and ready to lose weight without completely destroying your health, I show you exactly how to do that in this video. I take you through the exact system that helped me lose 50 pounds over 40. But more importantly, it's the system that helped me establish the right habits and actually keep the weight off for good.